Hey, it's Dredd from Miss Valley Gaming, coming back to you with a little bit more sports talk. Today I'm recording this is late in the day on August 3rd, 2021. This will be coming out a little bit later than that, so you know what day it was recorded. So I want to come back and talk a little bit more about the Edmonton Oilers because I touched on that on my last video, and then I want to talk a little bit more about the LA Lakers since they've been in the news lately. So we'll start with Edmonton. Um, I do want to say that I missed out on mentioning Tyson Barrie and his signing on my last video, and I felt kind of sad when I realized that I had missed it. So let's talk about Tyson Barrie. Tyson Barrie, great offensive defenseman, had the most points by a defenseman. He got one third place vote for the Norris, or did he even get that? Maybe he got no votes for the Norris. It was how do I put it? Kind of disgusting the way he got ignored. That's just almost unreal. So Tyson Barrie, people who are saying, "Oh, he got a bunch of second assists and he only got points because he's with playing with McDavid." That's kind of ridiculous. He's proven in his career already, although he didn't have a great year in Toronto the other year. He's proven in his career that he is a good offensive defenseman. He's proven now you put him with great players in a situation where he's comfortable, and he's a great offensive defenseman. He doesn't carry the puck end to end like Paul Coffey. But you know what else? Nobody ever said that Paul Coffey was a terrible defenseman because all he did was put up points. Oh, some people said Paul Coffey's not good defensively, but everybody knew he was a great defenseman, and every other team in the league wanted him. I know because I'm a fan of the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they picked him up after Edmonton was finished with them, or he was finished with Edmonton, whichever way you want to put it. So, Tyson Barrie, end of story. Great defenseman. He's great offensive. He's so defensively. He's not excellent. He's not as bad as people make him out to be either. Does he need someone with more of a defensive conscience on his pairing? Yes, he does. And he's got that in Darnell Nurse. Last year, that pairing did very well. I expect after having a year together, we're going to see them again next season as a pairing, and I presume that they are going to do as well or better. May not get more points, either of them, but I think as a pairing, they're after having a full year together, they're going to be much better together. So take that as you will. Hopefully a little better defensively and maybe some better offensively as well. Tyson Barrie, great contract. Last year, he was the best value contract in the NHL. So then they re-sign him, up his salary, and he still takes a pay cut, and he is still the best value signing in the NHL again this next year. And for the next two after that as well. He's got a 3-year contract. This was a great signing by Ken Holland. And Tyson Barrie proved, hey, I appreciated being put in a situation where I was able to showcase my skills here at Edmonton. Tyson Barrie looked around and said, I just got dissed by everybody when it came to Norris Trophy voting, in spite of the fact that I put up this monster year and I led the league amongst defensemen in scoring. He took notice of that and he said, suddenly leagues teams are not lining up at my door like they should be. Why would I want to go somewhere else? Why not stay in Edmonton? Sign a contract and stay here for another, as it ends up, 3 years. Why wouldn't I want to do that? This is where I'm playing my best hockey of my career, right here. So that's what he did. And yeah, he took a pay cut. Ken Holland said, we love you back. I mean, now that Adam Larson, we got money, we got money to spend, but we don't have a ton of money. We got other stuff we need to do. And they worked out a very reasonable contract. Tyson Barrie still gets paid good money. But you've got guys who are just recently signing for $9 million average over there. And it's like, come on. Are these guys worth $9 million? These guys are not, 1 and 2 amongst defensemen in the league. They're guys who are maybe in the top 20 in defensemen in the league, okay? And I don't know where to rank them exactly, but they're not two guys who signed for like around $9 million. These guys are not the number 1 and number 2 defensemen in the league. They're just the 2 highest paid. So Tyson Barrie's contract, his extension, his 3 years, Very good for Tyson Barrie. Very good for the Edmonton Oilers. Tyson Barrie should be happy. He's making more money than he made on the Show Me contract. He might have been able to get a little bit more money somewhere else. He might have been able to get around $6 million per year somewhere. If somebody, I'm sure there probably would have been a team that would have taken him. But then he's going to be like, is it going to be as good a situation? Am I gonna be competing for a Stanley Cup like I believe I am going to be here in Edmonton? So good on Tyson Barrie, good on Ken Holland, and anybody who says otherwise, no. Tune them out. They have an axe to grind. They're trying to stir up controversy, or they don't know anything about hockey. Don't let them tell you Tyson Barrie is a lousy hockey player. Don't let them tell you that Tyson Barrie didn't deserve the points he got. Don't let them tell you that Tyson Barrie shouldn't be on this team. Screw them. He's an Edmonton Oiler, and we're glad about it. Now let's talk about the Darnell Nurse contract coming up. He is negotiating. We're hearing things in the media being whipped around. We don't know what's true, what's not. People are saying now that his contract's going to start with a 9. I understand why they're saying that. However, please recall, Darnell is very close with Leon and especially Connor. Both Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid took less money than they could have got to be here. There's no debating that. There was more money available there. They could have asked for it and got it. They chose not to because they wanted to leave money for this team to be able to bring in players and create a championship team. As part of the leadership group, there is no, listen to me very closely, watch my lips, listen to my voice. There is no way that Darnell Nurse signs a contract with Edmonton Oilers where he is averaging $9 million a year. It's not happening. Could he? If he demanded it, he would get it. He's not going to. He would lose the respect of Connor and Leon if he did that. Hey, another guy who's been taking less over the last couple of years here than he should be getting, that he could get elsewhere in order to help the team out, Mike Smith, another leader on this team. Tyson Barrie. I guess Tyson Barrie is maybe now a leader on the team as well. I'm okay with that. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. We all know he took less to stay in Edmonton. Yes, they had to stretch it out over longer in order to get him to take less. But yes, he took less than he could have got elsewhere. Zach Hyman, who just signed. I think he's going to be a leader on this team as well. Zach Hyman could have got an average, greater salary average with another team. He could. These guys all, I don't want to say took pay cuts, but let's just say took pay cuts to be part of a winning Edmonton Oilers team and hopefully a Stanley Cup champion. Darnell Nurse is not going to screw all those guys over. I'm sorry. Darnell Nurse will sign a contract for either 7 years or probably 8 years. Probably 8. And the number will start with a 7. Okay. If he gets 8 or more, I will be completely shocked. Not because he can't demand that salary and get it, but because I don't believe that's the right thing for him to do at Edmonton, and I think he knows that. Now, last but not least, I do want to talk again about the Edmonton Oilers goaltending. I don't think it's good enough. That's not an offense to Mike Smith. Mike Smith is an awesome guy, an awesome leader, and I'm hoping he can get hot and stay hot again next season and play just as well or nearly as well as he did this last season. But I don't believe the tandem they have currently is good enough. I don't believe they have anybody likely to be in the minors or wherever pushing for an NHL job. I believe the most likely thing is still that they end up moving. Wow, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Mikko Koskinen, probably to Buffalo. And they might have to, shoot them a draft pick or something to help with taking him. Hopefully not a first overall pick, or not a first overall pick, if not, really not a first round pick. And I believe that there's a very good chance. Now, I don't have any insider information. I'm just saying, I believe there's a very good chance somebody like Alexander Georgiev from the Rangers, who wants out. Young goaltender, young Russian. Ken Holland's familiar with Russians from his Detroit Red Wings days. He has no problem with Russians. I believe he could be coming back. He could be coming to the Edmonton Oilers for, Zach Kassian and a pick or picks. And if that is going to happen, then I would expect the Oilers to turn around then and sign Alex Chason to a, $1 million contract or so to be their fourth line, third or fourth line right winger, depending how you look at it. They have no problem with Alex Chason. Good guy. I hope he gets hot, goes on a little bit of a heater like he did a couple seasons ago, rather than last season where, he played fine. There was no issue with him. He was a good veteran guy, good veteran winger. They could also use him on the power play, probably the second power play as a net front presence as well, where I like him better than Zach Kassian because, quite honestly, I think Alex has done better than Zach in that position. And I still think the Rangers want some toughness to deal with Tom Wilson in Washington and others. So that's kind of my Edmonton Oilers thoughts. I just want to switch gears here and talk about the NBA and the Los Angeles Lakers. Been lots of stuff going on over there. I mentioned before, I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan. I'm not a LeBron James fan. I admire his basketball skills immensely. I'm not dissing the guy on the court. Is he driven and drives some people crazy around him in the things that he does? Oh yeah, for sure. He's driven to win like Kobe was and like many others. MJ. You can probably name a bunch of other people who are driven to succeed, and I hope he does because he's an LA Laker. His basketball skills are great. He is probably, well, I think he's definitely top 5 players in the NBA of all time. I'll put that out there. I don't know where exactly he ranks, but I'll say top 5. I'm not enough of a basketball aficionado to be able to, list who the top 5 would be. I don't like him on a personal level. I don't like a lot of the things he says off the court. I don't like a lot of the stands he takes, etc., etc. That's nothing against him being black and me being Caucasian. It's not a racial thing, except when people like LeBron make it a racial thing. I appreciate, and let me say this again, it's probably a conversation I don't want to get into, but I appreciate very much as I can, because I can't completely understand it because I'm not in it. I appreciate when the black community stands up and says, we've been treated unfairly, we've been looked down upon, we've been discriminated against. I'm not going to argue that. I'm not here to argue that. I just think some of the things that LeBron has come out and said have been wrong, and I think some of the things he's come out and said and tried to encourage other people to agree with have been wrong. And I enjoy him as a basketball player, though. So I'll leave it at that. And as long as he's a member of the LA Lakers, I'm going to be rooting for him on the court. But Russell Westbrook, I wanted the Lakers to get Westbrook a couple years ago. I never thought this was going to happen. This is awesome. I've been a Russell fan since his OKC days with Kevin Durant, and even with James Harden back then. I remember when they had all 3 of them. Russell is amazing athlete. He blows my socks off. I haven't watched much of him in the last couple of years, so I am looking forward to seeing him this coming season a little bit more as I watch some of the Laker games. And I really hope he's still got some of that drive and skill that he's had, that he hasn't lost at all, because I want to see him taking that thing to the hoop, making people look stupid, and getting triple doubles and just having the time of his life, winning in the regular season, winning in the postseason, hoisting that trophy over his head to Larry O'Brien. Let's do it. Really, really sad that the Lakers lost Alex Caruso. I understood they made a decision. I'm okay with them making the decision, but I am sad that they lost him. I think he was a great figure, a great personality on the team, and I also think he was the number 1 hustle guy, the number 1 defensive guy. No offense to AC. He's obviously great defensively, but he's in a different position, and you don't see him diving onto the floor for loose balls the way Alex Caruso would. I say AC? Anyways, AD I meant. Anthony Davis. So Alex will be missed on this team. I wish him well in Chicago with Lonzo Ball. Hey, I like Lonzo too. He was a Laker. I like both those guys. I wish them well. I don't wish them to have any championship aspirations over my Lakers, though. Sorry, guys. I fully support Lakers choosing, if they had to choose between the two, which they felt they did, choosing Talen Horton-Tucker. I think he's got an amazing talent, and I look forward to seeing them actually continuing to develop that with him. Coaches, staff working with him, developing his skills and setting him up for a starter role going forward. Probably not this year, this next season, maybe the season after, we'll see. And eventually this Laker team becoming his. That's something I look forward to, and I do believe he's got it in him. Whether or not it'll actually happen is mainly up to Talen and obviously the coaching staff as well. I really like the things he brings, and I'm excited about his potential. The one thing I do worry about the LA Lakers now, especially with Alex Caruso out, is can Frank Vogel get veteran buy-in? These veterans are coming in and they want to win a championship. How much do they want to win it? Do they want to win it enough to sacrifice every game in the regular season to perfect their game, to perfect the team game, to get those wins, to get geared up and ready for the championship run? There's a lot of older guys on this team. I hope they can do it. It's going to be a challenge for Frank Vogel and the rest of his staff. I hope they're up to it. And welcome back, Dwight Howard. I got to say, I didn't think they should have let him go last season. They did before the season began, obviously let him go, and then they did. Then they didn't win the championship. I'm not saying they would have with Dwight, but I think the chances would have been better. That's no offense meant to any of the guys who played the center position for the Lakers last year. But Dwight was a cut above, and I hope he can bring 80% at least of what he had 2 seasons ago back to the Lakers team. I'll be quite happy. Dwight, you're the man. After your first go around here in LA, I never thought I'd say that, but you are championship Dwight. However, you're not Superman. That is Shaq. Shaq is my hero. Shaq is my favorite all-time basketball player. Number 2, Lawrence Moten of the Vancouver Grizzlies. And probably number 3 would probably be Kobe Bryant. There you go, guys. It's a little look from me. 2 of my favorite teams, Edmonton Oilers, LA Lakers. I'd love to talk more about the Pittsburgh Penguins, another one of my favorite NHL teams, but really they don't have much going on. It's kind of sad. I do wish they'd find a way to bring Marc-Andre Fleury back. Other than that, they need to hold on to draft picks, draft as well as they can, and hope for a bright future down the road. And in the meantime, they're just going to play out the careers of some of these guys, I guess, that they've got, because unless they go on a really good hot streak at the right time, they're probably not going to be in contention for another championship, which is sad. All right, that's it from me, from Miss Valley Gaming. I appreciate you guys once again letting me veer off into my second love, which is sports, and I'll try to do a little bit more of this. Thanks for checking this out. From Miss Valley Gaming, my name is Dredd. Peace out, everybody. Because gaming should be fun. Slow your pace with Mist Valley Gaming.